when you want to attract a partner or a spouse, maybe one of them leads to another, right? I think that this is a topic that is very popular and it's definitely fun to explore. And I also want to come at it from a standpoint of what I've experienced throughout my life and how my experiences have shaped me, and also what it is that I've moved away from, right? So if you're here, it's likely because you want to attract a partner or spouse, right? The very first thing that I'm going to say, and you're probably not going to want to hear it because it somewhat tends to go against the grain, I guess. The first thing to do is to stop trying. If you're trying, there's quite a high likelihood that you might be somewhere pretty fucking far outside of your own authenticity. Oh, what do I need to do to attract a partner, to attract a spouse? How do I need to be? What are the things that I need to say? There's no cookie cutter one size fits all for attracting people in life. And whenever I go onto social media and I hear people generalize saying things like, women hate this or hate that, that's a generalization. It's not true. Not all women hate the same things. Not all women love the same things. Not all men hate the same things. Not all men love the same things. That's just the reality of it, right? So it's important to understand that when approaching this, it's just not practical to come at it from a generalized one size, cookie cutter, one size fits all standpoint. It's not productive, it's not helpful, it doesn't really do a whole lot. But if you want to attract a partner or a spouse, the best fucking thing you can do, and a lot of people have a very challenging time with this, understandable. I've had so many years of experience. I basically have fucking at least 2 PhDs at this point in codependency. I mean, there was a point in time when I would try really fucking hard, right, to attract a partner, to attract a spouse, right? I would think to myself, what do I need to do? And, if only I could have had my older self, me, now, back then, it's like, fucking nothing, right? When you try, right? Oh, I'm trying to turn on my car. No, you're not trying. Is your car fucking dead? No. You're not trying to turn on your car. You're just putting the key in, you're turning it, and hopefully it turns on if that battery's fine. Are you trying to go get a glass of water? No, you're not. It doesn't take rocket science of knowledge to understand that all you need to do is take the fucking glass out of the cabinet, fill it with water, and drink it, right? Are you trying to attract a partner or a spouse? You might be. You may have learned at some point in your life that you need to try really fucking hard to attract people, to attract certain people, to make friends, to find a partner, this, that, and the other. You may have learned that. And believe me when I say it, I understand. I do. Now, the reality of the fucking matter is that if you, well, I don't want to call it the reality of the matter. I'm just going to say, from what I've learned in my own experiences, I'm not here to claim truth. I'm not here to claim fact. I'm just here to explore something and look at it from many different standpoints, but as well my own perspective, my own experience, right? If you are trying to attract a partner, from what I see, it is as though you are doing something that is maybe not authentic to you, right? If you are trying to do something that you've never done before, you don't have any previous knowledge of doing it, so therefore you basically are trying to. You don't really know exactly how to do it, so you're just trying to do it and seeing if it works. Cool. If you are, I don't know, let's just say a safe age 30, you've had quite a lot of fucking years of experience in being a human being. If you have a well developed sense of self and a personality, you know yourself pretty well, then you do. You know yourself pretty well. At that point, are you really trying to make friends? Are you really trying to attract a partner or a spouse? Well, I would think that if you are trying, keyword trying, you're likely doing something that's not really authentic to you. It doesn't make it good or bad or right or wrong. It's not a matter of that. But what it does make it, in my honest eyes, that sounded weird. In my honest opinion, these eyes are honest. I don't know why I got like British or Australian on that one. You're likely stepping outside of yourself in your own sense of authenticity, right? So you're doing things, again, not good or bad or right or wrong, but you're doing things that might not really be aligned with you. It might confuse people to hear that you don't need to do anything to attract a partner or a spouse. And I understand that a lot of people might say, what the fuck are you talking about? Of course you do. You need to do X, Y, and Z. You need to make sure you got this going. You need to... No. I don't believe you fucking do. I really don't. And again, you know, anyone can come at me with, you know, criticism of like, oh, well, you must not be doing this. You must not be doing that. You're not doing it right. No. No. There are many different dynamics of how relationships can unfold. You know, many different ways that things can happen and everything, right? If you are trying to be somebody else, therefore stepping outside of your own frame of authenticity to attract somebody, there's a likelihood that you're going to attract somebody that actually doesn't really resonate with you. If you try something else, now don't get me wrong, like I'm a huge fan of personality, but not only personality, but also one's own capacity to change, transform, and develop their personality or step into a new space of personality. I'm a full-on fucking fan of that. If it's what you actually want, and if it's what actually feels, I guess we'll say, totally desired, you know. Unless you have a personality that is not healthy, right, and you are trying to, or you are attracting a partner or a spouse based on that, you're probably just repeating a pattern. Your relationship is probably going to be extremely fucking turbulent and X, Y, and Z. You could probably tell the rest. But if you've transformed your personality through healing and through, you know, personal development, personal growth, all that stuff. Sorry, I thought I was going to burp. Then you can go from that and attract based on that, right? But you don't really need to do anything specifically to attract a partner other than be yourself. And this might contradict everything that you've learned in life, everything that you believe in life. But it's the reality of the matter. And if somebody else comes to you and says, you think that you're going to attract a partner or a spouse like that, with that personality, with all of that crap, with all this, that, and the other, they're probably just projecting their own shit onto you. They're probably a deeply fucking insecure person and don't know how to sit with the pain of their own insecurities, and so they just give it to you. They give it to other people, this, that, and the other. And so the other thing, too, is that I want to step into the other space of this, which I think is very important. Might make a part 2 to this because there's a lot to talk about here. I have realized that at different points throughout my entire life, I have really struggled to enjoy myself. I've really struggled to let go and just, you know, have fun, right? One of the biggest and most important elements of life and relationships is just letting go and having fun, not being attached, right? Think about it this way. when you go to meet somebody, right, and you're thinking about the potential of having a long-term relationship with them, right, like having a life with them and everything. There's something in my fucking eye. Okay, there we go. You might go into the process, go into the situation, go into the entire thing very attached to the outcome. Hey, do you like me? Hey, do you like me? Hey, do you like me? Oh, please like me. Please like me. I really need you to like me. I really, really need you to like me. I need you to like me. Like me, like me, like me. Validate me. Approve of me. Do you love me yet? Do you love me? I know that we just met, but do you love me yet? Validate me. Approve of me. Check mark, check mark, check. No. What I've been learning recently is that when it comes to relationships, and it's not a bad thing to take responsibility in relationships. I mean, it's not a matter of bad, sorry. Not good or bad or right or wrong. It's not an unhealthy thing to take responsibility in relationships. Actually, very important and healthy. But, like, the more that I've been thinking about it, I have placed a responsibility on other people for me to love me, to like approve of me, to validate me, to accept me, this, that, and the other. It's a fucking massive burden. I mean, I would not be surprised if that turns anybody off. It's like, imagine all of a sudden you're just sitting at a fucking table with somebody and they reach underneath the table and they just pick up this massive wad of debt, right? This is my debt. I need you to pay it for me. And I'm not talking about like actual like physical debt that you find somebody has and they want you to pay it for them, right? I'm talking about like, this is all of the approval, validation, acceptance, and love that I did not get throughout my life. It is now your responsibility to fulfill that. One word. Run. I mean, just in my honest opinion, that's a massive amount of responsibility. And again, not good or bad or right or wrong, but it also displays a lot of insecurity on the other person. Nobody else has to validate you. It's not their job to. It's not their job to approve of you, to accept of you, to, you know, this, that, and the other. And I spent years massaging my fucking forehead. Just kidding. I spent years trying to get people to approve of me, to validate me, to accept me, to love me and everything. Guess what it's gotten me? Absolutely fucking zero. And not only that, but it's just not an attractive dynamic. Imagine like taking all of this fucking responsibility and being like, this is yours now. No thanks. I'll pass. Yeah, no. It's not my jam. It's not my jam. It's our responsibility as individuals to validate and approve of ourselves, right? But if you go into the world of seeking a partner or a spouse really fucking attached, like, I need it, 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 please like me, 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 approve of me, validate me, validate me, I'm suffocating from everything I never get in my fucking life, no thank you. Let go, enjoy the fucking process, be in your own frame, really know yourself, approve of yourself, validate yourself, love yourself, accept yourself. It's nobody else's responsibility. Just enjoy the shit out of the process. You know how cool it is when you're in a dynamic with somebody who's just fucking enjoying themselves? That's fucking attractive. That makes you magnetic, actually, right? Not being worried about what they think about you and what they feel about you. Just being in your own fucking frame of authenticity, knowing yourself, enjoying yourself, and last but not least, either way, you're good. With them or without them. Either way.